must engage the darkness. If you are going to regain the memories lost to you, you must stay strong.
A lone child's presence does not bode well for the circumstances.
No one can pass.
And inquisitive. It will be difficult.
Well, that's just perfect.
But try to remember. You are never alone.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Beckoned Development Weekly Stream, episode 58, and we are switching gears, and we are thumbnailing. So, the whole idea behind this, these dailies were to revisit these really old images that I had back in the day, and to bring some new digital life to them. And I had gotten a couple images in, and then I was like, dude, I really want to come into this old one, and gave no thought to, well, it's got backgrounds, it's you're going to want to replace that character, and it just started becoming redundant for the show. I do intend on, finishing this and going into it, but it is a concept of something that happens later, much later in the Beckoned lore down the timeline. And I think my efforts would be better served working on something that's going to go in the different direction of Beckoned. So as I was saying yesterday, the whole idea of doing a comic book has now been discussed between all of us, and we're going for it. So at the same time, we are still keeping the game moving forward. So the comic book is something I can keep doing on my own as the artist, and we plan to try to do that I'm going to be pushing and learning and asking and getting people's opinions. And today I'm going to start thumbnailing some stuff, because this page here, I spent most of the morning going into it and starting to simplify a lot of this stuff because of my concern of the print quality coming into it down the road. I also resized some stuff, took Noah's suggestion, and said, hey, some of those characters might be a little small. And then I was thinking, well, maybe these frames are a bit small. And then, I paid attention to these top markers, but did I pay attention to these markers down here? So I've just got actual thumbnailing to take what I've got as far as the idea of the script and start to thumbnail ideas, scenes in my head that I need to do, and plan out some of these things, because I've got some pretty dynamic scenes that I want to make sure perspective is correct, proportions are correct, and all the while I want everyone to be mystified by the world creation. And so I pop in a lot of these details, and I'm gonna start doing a lot of this work to it, and slowly finding my own comic style. Like these lines on the neck, not 100% sold on. These markings here, I'm kind of taken from what I've been seeing Joe Catapano do a bit. I know I want to start looking more at Frank Frazetta and starting to be a little bit more brave to put really smacky blacks like this all along the face and stuff without losing it. And I was starting to get a little courageous there, but I wanted to put it on this side of the face and was like, no, don't do it. You can do that with color a lot better. But I'm going to have to start learning to be brave like I was in Tattoo in a different way by simplifying all these ideas. And I'm trying to find a style that I can run with that has a good balance of the detail and the print quality, ramification or parameters. So we are going to not be working on this for quite some time. I may jump back to it, or unless you guys are like, no, you quitter, you better finish it. If you do, let me know in the comments. We'll be good, or hit me up on Twitter. So that's what I was doing this morning. But then I was like, because of the framing issues that I was having here, I wanted to start giving myself different type of templates to work on, or frames. And I saw the parameters. I wanted to understand the page and how you can work with it with different framing. I've got to adjust this one and just find different shapes and stuff, and start to think, how am I gonna lay the page out across all this this first comic book that I'm jumping into. Like I said, Dwight's going to be on one side working on some mechanics. We talked about it last night and extensively this morning. So all of that's pretty much set up. So as he's getting that stuff explored upon, built some more, we've got a few different things, not just the campsite that I've been talking about, but also I told you guys at least months and months ago, excuse me, we were working on a card game. So, and it's a really cool one. It's based on a 52 card deck. So, but it's an RPG, and we like it. It's kind of fun. It's fast. It's not that complicated. I wanted to keep it simple, like Triple Triad or the Final Fantasy card games. But then you get into these things and you learn of other systems that they have in Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering or Gwent. And you start to go, okay, this can blow up out of proportion. So we're going to be revisiting, that idea again and try to start getting some other stuff down. It's not like we're not moving on with the main game. We definitely are. We're just starting to think about it a bit differently. Because we did throw all the cards out on the table. We did do it all at once, and we did come out of nowhere. But we've learned a lot now, and we think we have a better idea on the way we can get this game made. It'll be a longer pace. It'll more than likely, the way we're talking about it is either in act counts or in chapter counts. I hate to break it up that way, to be honest, and it's not set in stone. But so while I do a comic book and he's working on some other mechanics and getting those built, and I'll come up behind him and work those out again, give more art to them as he's getting those completed. Sorry, I'm having to wrestle with my Cintiq right now. It's doing goofy things with me. So come on, thing. So yeah, I'm supposed to be thumbnailing, and I'm wrestling with my Cintiq. It's just been on all morning, and I've been working it overtime. But it shouldn't be doing this. It is old though. So let's get some music on the stream. I'll do my normal spiel for the IndieGOGO as I get towards the end. So thank you guys for hanging out again. Like I said, I'm just kind of thumbnailing some ideas out. I've got some cool ideas, and the other thing is I've heard rules like breaking the frame. If you do it once or twice. Don't overuse it. I don't think I intend to. My question is, how many large full page ideas like this, like you have a couple floating frames over top a large full page piece, how many times do you pull that trick off until it just seems overdone? Again, the pacing of the story is kind of what your frame I would guess is what your frame usage is a lot alike. And then there's techniques to blend between frames, like using the space between them as part of the art to transition. Watching Catapano develop his comic skills, these were one of the things he was like, it's such a cool storytelling mechanism once you learn how to use them. So, but then again, I have this template that has these markers on it. So these are parameters, but parameters for me, in my experience, are usually made to be, once you understand them and adhere to them, and you know the reason for them, that's when you're able to start to break them and use them any way you want to. But I don't want to assume too much, because right now I am a student to the technicality of this. Like I said, I'm just basically exploring the template and understanding what kind of frames I'm going to be able to use if I stick strictly to the markers. And maybe anyone watching me that's done comics is kind of laughing a bit and go, haha, I remember when I did that. But I saw Joe thumbnail a lot. So thumbnailing, don't worry about the frame so much. Just start thinking about those images and putting them in. And it's like, well, I would think, if you're confident and all that, that would be a great approach. For me, it's like, I've got to find those frames to figure out how I've got to silhouette stuff, or I don't know. Like I said, total student here. But got this giant frame here, which I don't even know. I mean, I kind of know what I would do with that, but that kind of lends me back to the full pagers. So I've got this set, and then I've got this set, which is more like verticals, and then I've got my boxes and my horizontals. So my idea is, with these as kind of my frame library, I could at least start thumbnailing some ideas and finding which frames those set best in. And then that's the other thing, is like, you want to thumbnail everything out. So I need to do that at the same time, because I'm going to want to change stuff, rearrange things. So yeah, this is and it's just because I want to be technically on the correct side. I just don't want to jump into this and have my first comic kind of be technically incorrect. I've got too many people I'm looking up to. Alright, so thumbnailing. Let's go ahead. Now, because I've got this shot here, see how I didn't adhere to the framing? I don't know if I'm supposed to. I think I'm using, in the way that the flow would work, this is wrong. So if I turned that and brought this out, because I think that's what I was doing originally, I'm going to come into here. And bring that in. I'm going to get this situated. Because I was doing this earlier and I was like, ouch. With that being so tall. Then again, does it have to be that tall? I have frames over here, such as these two. Well, that it's the same size as that. But that's such a cool shot. And then if, oh, that was my other page. And so I've got this guy here. And would I put him on top like this to kind of show it's flying and coming up? But see, it's not really lining up with stuff. Once I start adhering to the measurements, I'll block my character. And here's the problem with drawing your stuff before lining it up, you know? I could lower this composition. I believe that is, where's that at? I could lower this so I can make sure I get all the framing. Because we'll be seeing the airship docked back here. And it moves it very low on the page. And if I'm not mistaken, that should be the cutoff point right here. But if it's a full pager print, because you can see I'm going to the cut over here. So I'd be running it to the cut here. Here's my screen again. So I'm just, like I said, just trying to find it. And see, I'm not, this frame just in general doesn't adhere to the measurement. It's too tall. It's not setting right. So it's got to be trimmed. It's got to be trimmed like to here, unless it's going to overlap, and in which case, what am I overlapping to? There's no markers. So I'm afraid if I make that choice to go with it, it'll be on a technical side wrong. Like, you wouldn't frame your stuff like that, man. Because then the motion is here, and then down here, and then over here. It's like we're doing this. I mean, it's a nice S-curve or slide, but it's all over the place. The read of the page would be odd. So I'm thinking, I was thinking, and now I stopped. This frame right here would be interesting to use for that. It's just it squats the composition a bit. Show you what I mean. So we're here. I'll put the stick that there. Bring it all the way up to the edge of the page. Yep. All right. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. Not bad. So the line work is there, and I would frame it something like that. Because I still want the horizon of the sky in there, but I want to see the terrain here too, and the zip of the... I'm gonna make that outer glow thicker. Let's get that lined up a bit more. Okay, and then there's the other idea of basically and then showing much more of the terrain and the world. Could I pull it off over here? Or center it up? That way I can do some narration boxes over here and over here. We're up, up top and the bottom. And then, now it does that adhere to any markers up top here? No, but in my frames, I'm kind of thinking the measurements allow you to keep a framing algorithm consistent, is my assumption. That's all that is an assumption. I have no clue if I am anywhere near close to that. But let's say since I got that set, let me trim that up real quick. Play with this one more time. Basically the same way we played with that one. So there would be an equidistance between the frames. Even though the markers may not be on the page for me to use, I still need to have some sort of marker here to get me somewhere in that. And maybe some people are like, just don't do that. Well, you're not here right now, and I'll have to research that a little bit later. So that'll be my little measurement marker. So if I didn't want to overlap and I still wanted to keep the frame algorithm measurements there, then now this image can start to pop back up again. I still don't like how tall that is, and it's not just because it keeps cutting off this dude. Even at that, I'm breaking the algorithm here, so I'm doing it twice, and I kind of don't. I don't want to do that. So I move this up, and go into the drawing. Move the trees down, or the treetops down a bit. Oh, come on. I thought I was grabbing a larger group than that. Oh, that's part of the frame itself. Ouch. Not cool. Okay, I might have to do something about that. Grab this. Yep. Where's our marker? Right there. So this guy's got to come up some. We're still going down. Dip, 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 dip. Oh, come on now. Oh, Christmas. Here we go. Make sure the... Oh. Turn off our measure. I'm going to call that margin measure. All right. I've got to figure this screen out, man. That's going to keep going on and off on me. Sorry, guys. Bear with me a few more moments. All right. Like I said, my stuff's plugged up to battery backups. That way, no surges destroy anything. All right. So, but that transition feels a bit boring. Or is it just me? So we got the fly in, but because it doesn't overlap, to me it kind of feels like it doesn't transition, but then that's just me. We're reading it that way, but then the composition's asking us to glance back over at the other side. So, I mean, I guess when the airship's there, you've got the correlation. Airship, airship, airship down there. So maybe I'm just going to go with that flow. And maybe that flow is indicative of what it may feel like flying. I'm tossing ideas. Laugh at me, that's fine. So I have other pages sketched out. I just haven't shown them yet because they are nasty, nasty thumbnails. They do not look that pretty. Now with it, I still need the ability to tell. So this will have some info bubbles. This one would have some info bubbles. But if I thought about this space also being used for it, would they just be kind of stacked and kind of laddered, like stepped a bit? Or would I try to just tell the best I can and then put one right here? So I know, and the other thing is like, where's your script? If you have the script, you know what needs to be said, and you can flow it. So that is the other thing. Not just thumbnails, but it's also getting the script written. I know the event, and I started chunking out the way it's going, like how many pages might dictate this scene and that scene and how I can flow over. But let's say I go with this as a safe start. Because a lot of this space right here will be the airship docking or, some other stuff. So there will be some intrigue, but most of it's going to be hit with those bubbles. There's the details here that still need to go here. So once all that fills up, and then I have to make sure I'm keeping it printable. Now, because of binary work, that's the other thing I'm worried about, is I see all the comic guys going binary. And so I'm having to explore new techniques myself of how to go binary but not lose any of the fidelity or contrast control, because a lot of my stuff has been crosshatch, blend, stuff like that. So as I zoom out, see how bright all that gets now and jumbles up. So I've got to come in. What's up, bud? Good to see you. So I got to come back in and kind of take a lot of that out. Like Noah said, when in doubt, black it out and jump back out. And now my form is a bit more of it. Maybe it's too dark. So I'll come back in, pull some stuff back out, and just try to make sure I'm not overpowering too much. And then when the color comes in, those will pop those out a lot more. I've also seen a bunch of guys in comics talk about the white outline that goes around a lot of the characters to pop them out of it as well. Because it would be a little overdone if you're always blacking out all around the characters. You may not need that all the time. So again, maybe this is just way too much to do, or I'm overusing it, if you would. And if I am using it that much, it needs to start coming up on other parts. That same black needs to start popping up and blending things together. Like I said, binary. So there's stippling, there's cross-hatching, and then I heard something about turn your anti-aliasing off, but I believe that was just referring to colors, because when you start to flat the flats or the color flats, you're wanting them to not share pixels. And so you need to turn off anti-aliasing, so when you use your magic wand tool to make your selections of your colors, it makes a clean selection. I do that in game art as well, with when I'm dealing with pixel art. So yeah, but just here I'm trying to simplify this piece and get it comic ready. I'm supposed to be doing thumbnails though, right guys? Right. All right. So as I was telling you, that's my approach for this. I've got this first page running. And Joe, I do believe, bruh, that's where you're telling me to cut the image. So that's what I'm doing. I'm really not sure what these markers are. So double page spread, cut at the seam with the pages. Yeah. I'm trying to get that image a full page. So I'm betting it needs to come all the way over to here, because that's the cut. I thought this is the cut, but no. So we'll still have to adjust on that. I can't squash and stretch too. I don't think I have been squashing. It's been mainly grab the drawing and then move it into place. So let's say if it was going to be the full page, let's say it goes all the way down there, then I've got more image, and I feel it fits better there. But that's if I'm reading the margins right. I think he tells me it cuts to here. And then if you're wanting the white on the page, on the edge, you want to stay within the dotted line. So, and if that's maybe what I'm doing right here. Yeah, see, trim. There's that 1 millimeter. Cut. Yeah, so I'm thinking this is the cut line, or this is, I'm not sure, but I'm glad that this image is movable. So, on to the page 2 thumbnailings that I've gotten. I do not like these ideas. So I wanted a shot of the character walking down this ramp, ergo, here we are. He's going to be making a left and then down this ramp. But I don't like it. So I'm changing this up. We're going to turn all that off, and we're going to go from scratch here. And just as, again, thumbnailing, I can't really be this rigid with this. I got to work on everything at once. But again, iteration. I tried it once and I didn't like it, so I'm going to go again. So from that shot, from that shot, because if I turn that back on, and then people were talking about storytelling. Could I go, I don't know, I'm going to go bird's eye with that next shot, but maybe I use my big guy here. So, grab him, copy it, come back in, paste. In there. Now wait a minute. That was all size to that. What's wrong here? Fits down here. So the measurements aren't the same from the top of the page down? I didn't know that. Seems like the top panels are taller. Huh. Okay then. Well, still works for me. That's the other thing. Is this a page that's going to have no fill? So we have the opening page being a whole page fill with no white. And then the second page having, I guess that's the turn. The first page turn. And then we'll have margins. So the idea is a worm's eye. So I need to set up my perspective lines. My horizon is way off up over here. My focal point will probably be right about down here. So I'm just gonna make my my perspective star real quick. This is a very crude one. And I know there's images or tools. There's even a mask, a dynamic mask shape that you can make in Photoshop that does all that perspective and all that. But put those down, turn them down. Alright, so might not make a lot of sense to too many of you, but so we've got that ramp. So he came down from a ramp, he turned a corner and is going to be going down another ramp. Here, there's going to be another way. Sorry, not getting that straight line. So we'll shift that. Boom. We can copy this guy. Bring that up in there. Cut him off. Okay. So my idea wasn't that it was going to be that far out. It was, oh crap, my bad. I want him centered, but I want us to also be able to see that that's the feng shui. So maybe he'll be right in the center walking down the way. There'll be more exposition bubbles or, narrative bubbles, boxes. Move it this way, he's higher up on the ramp if I keep him centered. The more I move it to the left, further down the ramp he is, which is kind of where I'm wanting him is somewhere here. So could do that and start building off here and get maybe none of our ramp ideas there. We'll get it through the soldier standing here with his staff. Depending on how large he is, that ramp was kind of wide. He's got a cape that's flowy. And then we'll have a bunch of Tulabanya bridges and such, and well, you don't know, but I know. The lower landings. down a bit. Soldier down a bit. All right. Now the guardrails, I'll start doing stuff like that a little bit later. Because as you guys see, my guardrails can get kind of intricate and they're wild. But some really cool ideas can come from this. So let's look at that one page again. Oh, these aren't in a folder yet? Uh-oh. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay, I'll just turn them on. So we have, what was I going on about just there? I was thinking of something just then. I forgot. Oh yeah, because I enlarged it, a lot of the detail is off the page. Okay, excellent. That works better for me then. All right, so I'll just turn that back on, and we're back to throwing what I call my gestures. The other thing I'm trying to contemplate is if I do something, because as I was talking to Noah, it was like I skip what comic book guys call pencils. I take my gestures as scaffolding for me to just start rendering across, which is what you're seeing in the page one. I've got all these weird marks. You all don't know what they are, but I do. So until I get there, so I basically, my inking is my pencils. And he made a good point, is if I was wanting to release an artist comic or an artist release, artist version like Joe is trying to do, and some other people have done, which is a really cool perk to have an actual, like the big size, the pencils. If I blow past pencils, I can't do that. I wouldn't have the pencils to do that with. So that's what's kind of got me going back into, okay, don't fly this by the seat of your pants. Going fast may get a comic book out, but then you won't be able to really market it probably to the fullest potential if you took your time. And don't worry, I'm still pretty fast. I want to do it right. And see, they do it right, and I don't follow my contours. And so yeah, that's the other thing, is I'm doing these thumbnails, and I don't expect you guys to know what they're referencing, nor do I hope you expect me to tell you what they're referencing. There's some other okay, so there's some other perspective stuff that I got to work with here. So that same star or perspective star that we were using, I'm going to copy that. Oh, hold on. There you go. Duplicate vertical, and I'm going to be bringing that all the way, because I need more of them. I can rotate it. Yeah, that's what I'm needing. Something that lines up. But the bridge is slanted because it's going down. So I still need some good perspectives. So the way I could tell about the slant is if I anchor my rotation here at the focal point, I can look at these lines here and here and think about the incline. So really most of my architecture that would be around would be probably sliding somewhere into that perspective. Collision bomb. Hello. So yeah, That's my idea. Boom. Now we got the ramp. It's slightly going down. It's not entirely going down, down, down. But I think I like that thumbnail much more than the over-the-shoulder one. Because again, I'll have these exposition bubbles. Again, kind of talking here and here and here. So I'm pretty comfortable with those perspective lines. I'm not going to merge them. I'm going to group them. I'm going to duplicate them. Perspective measures. And in this one, we'll go ahead and merge them. And that's merging the two perspective layers. And we'll clean up the sides here. Need to clean up the drawing, but oof, I lose all that over there. So I'm also thinking, can I shrink? If I shrink, I just got rid of a lot of my perspective stuff, so I'll be having to hint at myself. But I think I got a good way with it. I don't need to break the frame over here. So can I get that spire in? That's about as far as I think I'll be able to get with it. So clean that up too. All right, sir. I like that frame a lot better than my last one. That last one was embarrassing. That's why you guys haven't seen those yet. So I like the potential I have with this one to show more of. I have an awesome idea for the negative space that is here. It's actually going to be a lot of the water harbor in the lower landings. We got these overhang of some of the architectural pods and everything. So, thank you, Collision Bomb. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'd say I like that. Even though it's very crude, I think it's a great start. My next frame for that, though, so we'll, let's see, where is, okay, yeah, my page 2 is here. So let's turn that group off and look at back what I had. So that's what I had. I had this frame up top here, and so we'd get another close-up of a guard. Could that be the next frame? But then I just kind of feel like maybe it is a good frame. It just wasn't the best next frame to me, if you got what I said. I was just wasn't happy with it. So is that what you are? That's what the whole thing is. Crap. I didn't do anything right with this. Is that all that is? Yep. So what's this one? Definitely. Gotcha. Boom. I'm gonna... I really need to merge those, but I'm going to put them under a folder. Bring them outside to here. Turn that on, bring it back in. Bring this in here. Bring it down. Let's see if I can't size up for a really cool neck shot. And maybe the guards are too much. Maybe cutting it off somewhere. Again, I need to make sure that my framing is good. I think that would be too small. See, those are two big frames right after each other. Not really sure that's the best. If I really was itching for page count here, but I'm just like moving a camera constantly around him. If I bring it all the way down here and then have another shot or a few things there, there has to be some details going. And I've got what's coming next. It's just how would I frame those? Would I frame those here and use this here? Oh, Joe, now you come in on me, bud. I've been thumbnailing and just trying to find my way, buddy. But yeah, I'm afraid if I invite you, you're going to be like, you do it this way. And I'm like starting to get into a groove now. I think. Basically just trying to go with what looks good, feels good, but then the balance of stuff too. Trying to keep everything in mind here. But like I said, if I linger for a whole page on just this dude walking down the ramp, something here has to be telling more. And I've got what the more is. It's just, why not take out that frame altogether and just move on? Oh yeah, dude, I'm going to be done in 9 minutes. I mean, I'm not going to be done doing this. I'm going to be done streaming probably. Unless you guys want to keep watching me, and I'll stop when I stop. So, like, that's my gut feeling, is like, let go of that shot and move on. If I can't incorporate some way nicely in here, so even if I cut it off, make it a really thin shot so it fits into this, which would mean a George Costanza shrinkage. And then it pulls off here. I still think I could have a frame here insinuating something, but I think it'd also be confusing. You'd be confusing it with this character and not another one that's actually popping up. So I'll need to... Why am I so attached to this frame? Because you see his face in the first page. So I'm going to let go of it for now. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to delete it. It's just turned off. I'll work on some other. So I'm going to grab another frame here. See, like a frame like that would have been good for the next. And if I got frames like this, maybe eyeball close up. I don't know what tiny little thing could go in this frame. I could play... I don't have a frame that's that wide, do I? I think I do. Don't I? No, I don't. Okay. I'm missing a frame that could be that wide. No, I'm not. It's right here. Okay, dear. Do you have another panel? Do you have other panels sketched up? Basically, but I don't like them, so I'm kind of revisiting them. And so these were my page 2s, and I've already reworked my first one. I'm trying to keep in line with stuff like that. My page 3 is something a lot larger. You don't really know what's happening, but you know how my brain works and putting certain stuff together. So I'll have to rework a bunch of this too. So yeah, that's about as far as I got days ago when I first started playing with this. Now I'm going into it. So started reworking the style of this page, Joe. So if you can see, I'm starting to solid black, simplify some things, and get everything out there and start to change this into more of a comic style rather than my crosshatch style. That way, and so Noah was saying something about those characters looked really small on the page. So I was like, okay, let me enlarge it. Let me frame it better. I tried to frame these a bit. There he is. What up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up? So yeah, I've just been trying to save what art I've done here to be usable. And you can see that here I'm starting to simplify shapes out.
Yes.
So
That's the way to go.
and I scaled it up because they were on print. They would have turned out too small. They would have been itty bitty characters. Taking your your template and trying to pay attention to certain things. I've resized some stuff. I've got areas for narrative boxes and inner dialogue boxes or whatever, if you would.
Cool. What's up with the other page? What was going? Is that second page?
Yeah. So second page. So I had my first sketches of what I thought that page could be, and that was days ago. It was embarrassing to me, so I'm reworking them a bit.
I don't know, dude. That whatever you have, the first one, whatever you were showing just before that. I think that's a cool page.
So so the first, hold on, my bad. This image here, I thought would be really cool because we're watching him kind of go down this way, and I was going to continue on with those other panels. So I'm kind of looking at what I've got as my first thumbnails and going, can I do that better?
Right.
So what do you like about that one is it looks like I've got panels here, but this isn't a panel. This is the bridge connecting to a bit. This is another character who's going to be rounding the corner, come talk to him. So he's going to be looking off to his shoulder, and that's kind of close up his face. So the storytelling's all over the place. It's not communicating.
Kind of. All right, so what I was reading was the second image and the last image were the same image, right? Or no?
So these two?
Yeah. No. It just
Oh,
appears that way?
No. They are that way. Yeah, they are the same image. They are the same image. We just got this panel here that shows the close-up of his face reacting. Or no. It's the close-up of his face.
Right. So that's what's cool about that, because that's using comics in a uniquely comic way.
So here's what I'll do then. That's what I was saying earlier in the show, was like Joe knows what to tell me as far as framing some stuff. So where's that shot at? What'd I do with it? There we are. So, and I gotta turn off that other one right there. Okay, so I still want to use this one as like that first bit. And so if I can scale and grab this one, I'll have to change the frame, the reveal frame, or I can just redraw this to set in properly with that. But is this a full pager? Like, is there are no margins on this because I'm using the whole page to tell, or would I still have margins?
I mean, that's your call. It seems like it's a no bleed kind of situation, but if you know what I mean.
Because I'm going through panels to tell things.
Right. So,
but that's what I just did on page 1. How many times would I use the no bleed technique and not overuse it?
Right. No, I mean, I don't think that can ever be overused.
Okay, cool.
The bleed part, that part of it. Like, you can overuse different shots.
Okay. So, yeah, like I said, maybe I could just play with, maybe the same shot, but like dealing with it a bit differently. Like it needs to.
Yeah, I'm wondering why you're doing the top down. The way I think about panels is like you're pulling something from each thing. So what are you showing on the top one? Just the environment.
So the top, it'll be the lower landings is basically underneath the section of Tulabani where he's hanging out right now, or where he's going to his job. So the lower landings is like sailboats actually coming in on water into these gnarled, twisted city, like routes.
Cool.
So it's more storytelling of what it looks like underneath there. But we're also going to have these narrative boxes, kind of his inner dialogue, giving us a lot of the detail of that. And that's when it gets interrupted with, the events that happen between these two characters. This is pop in. So this character here is our character from page 1. This is a new character being introduced, and this is our close-up on him
Okay,
You know?
yeah, that's where we need to probably learn more from you. So the character that's walking in the top panel is not the one that's walking in the first page? Or
Right.
it is? It's not.
No.
That might be confusing.
Oh, that's this guy.
Okay.
Or that's this figure here. So basically, from this panel to this one, he's reached the center of the.
Right. Right. So the guy from the first page is the bottom character in this.
Is this character here?
Oh no, okay.
Who is that character here? So this character is the different one. But let's say I switch it. Let's say that this character is that character, and this is the new character arriving, and this is the close-up of this character's face.
I think you're just breaking the 180 rule here, and not that you can, not that you have to, but you might have to figure out a way to make it as clear as possible. I mean, unless the characters are, I mean, obviously the silhouettes will help. They're clear silhouettes, but you obviously know the 180 rule, so you know it's.
Well, educate me.
So the 180 rule is pretend your story's all done on a stage.
Yeah.
And the camera can only be on the audience's side.
Right.
So the minute you flip, and anime does this a lot, but they get away with it because they do a lot of different things. But all right, so
if I flipped that, if I flip these two, okay, so watch. If this character is the one on the front page, then this is the ramp he's coming down. So this line would have to be more rampy. Correct. This would be coming down.
That would help.
Down. And then we've got the spires here that we see in this shot. He's standing in the middle of the deal here, and now we've got this crouched over, other character popping up here. But the framing of that image is broken a little bit by this close-up of this character talking. Right. Even the dialogue bubble can come back and connect to that to kind of insinuate. Just playing with ideas.
Yeah, that already feels a little bit cleaner. Comics breaks the 180 rule a lot too, but I try not to because for me it even rule number 1 is don't break the 180 rule. Rule number 2 is if you have to break the 180 rule, it's because of page flow. Okay. So you can compromise the 180 rule for page flow if everything flows better that way. That's my rule. That's
okay. So imagine being the camera. Okay, so you've got your. Oh dang it! I'm gonna be doing this again. I think it stays within the framing because here we are on this side of the character coming in, and we're aligning with this swoop. He's gonna be turning this corner and going down. Okay, so we got this swoop.
You changed that page up. I just realized.
And then
so you don't get to see the pathway is what I'm saying.
Right. So as we turn, our signal is the guard there. The spires, when that other page gets finished, when that first page gets finished, we'll turn that back on. Where the hell are you? Okay. So as certain details in the guard and a lot of this stuff gets kind of filled in this page, hopefully, I'm hoping that it could translate into, the next page. See now I'm turning off layers and things I don't know anymore.
It's all good.
There we go. And then so the camera basically continues, but it's actually going up into a bird's eye view as he's going back down and then settling over here behind this new character that's walking up around this corner of the bridge and turning. So we're swooping 180 degrees. You
may want to scoot him over then slightly, just that top composition. I mean the top one with the crosswalk, but
okay, move. How do you mean?
Because I only bring it up because like that, because the more centered that the way you came from is, the more information people are going to get. Like they're going to be like, oh, that is the stairs from the first shot. You know what I mean?
Okay, I think I know.
See what I mean?
Give me a second. Yeah.
And it seems like your character is really centered there, which is not a bad thing.
That's what I was
But-
going for. Even at the beginning of this video, when I did, I was like, I'm gonna have them right in the center. But see, now we can see the stairs here, which
Right.
translates that better.
I'm always
Nah.
rule of thirds that stuff, but yeah.
What if I do this move?
That'll work too. I
And
save the
so-
center shots for close-ups for some reason. I rarely do these far away shots with something in the center. I don't know why.
Right.
But I think it'll work. I just wanted to see more of the stairs. That way you know where he's coming from.
Yeah, so all right, so we got the stairs there. We'll have that building section, that I still got to get in there. We can actually even hint that other character is
Mhm.
popping up right over here. And if this is another spire coming, we'll have to decorate these spires differently, because this will be popping up over here. This is a ramp now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously I got some
Yep.
exploration to kind of play with here. So, but yeah, I'm doing it.
Heck
My
yeah,
thought
dude.
is repetition or iteration. So just because I felt good doing these frames, don't get locked into them.
Right.
Rethink them and try to get everything thumbed out all the way to the end of the book. Get everything just thumbed out, and then revisit it. Pick out the good shots, but then pick out the bad ones and rethink them again and try to frame it better. If I got the good shots, then there's no reason to lose good shots. You should be able to creatively think between how to blend those.
Okay, so the only other little side note I would say is your whole thing. What I tend to do is do like really super rough, crazy of the whole book.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go.
Okay, I would try that. That way you can kind of feel the. It already starts to tell you like, oh, I'm using vertical panels too much, or this too much, or
Right. So that was the other thing, is I have these. I made these based off of your template.
Mm-hmm.
So I started giving myself a frame library.
Mm.
So what sizes can I go with? What things can I do with it? Different shapes that adhere to the algorithm measurements and the margins. I also have a margin measure brick somewhere.
And also, I would like.
What?
This is crazy. I just had this conversation with somebody in a comic shop yesterday.
Okay.
I was actually, to side a little tangent, but I was trying to sling Star Circuit at comic shops. I know, Cloud. You may want to expand those panels a little bit past that guide that you're on at the in these guides.
Okay.
Because technically you should maybe go a little bit farther because otherwise the margins are going to be huge.
You mean the space between the frames? Yeah, the margin.
They either call margins or gutters.
Yeah, gutters. Okay, yeah. These guys.
Yeah, the space between your real panels and the page.
Right.
They tend to be, I don't know, modern comics are less margins, more art, So
yeah. So see, I have a margin brick.
Cool.
So that allows me to basically put my frames in it. If I don't have these guides that I'm lining them up to, I've got to have some sort of measurement, keep that consistency. So
yes,
I
mean the other ones, like the margin bricks, fine.
You're saying make it more like this and meet them like that these margins will make them all too big.
Go back to your main template, because that's the only way I can have a reference to talk about something. Because you're in it, but without the main other panels, I can. All right, so the innermost guide here.
These sections.
The innermost square, that one, the one on the
the dotted,
the dotted one, yeah, that one's the guide that it's not really. I don't even know why they even include it. It's almost there to make sure you're not getting too close. It's just if you want to go to that guide, cool. But I go somewhere in between. I go maybe about halfway in between. Okay,
because this is the cut line.
Right. So if you're going to go full bleed, you go all the way to the end, right? Like you've done that already. That's if you're like in your first page, if you're going to have art all the way to the end of the page, go to that line, and then they're going to cut somewhere in between.
Okay, so what's this line then?
That's the trim line, which is what you're talking about. Good.
Okay,
I'm just saying,
so
yeah,
just to be safe, draw all the way out here. Expect this much to be cut off.
Right, for the full bleed stuff. For ones that you're going to have panels
You want to stick into this.
ish, but you can go past it, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Now,
That's
would
all.
it be smart to? Well, look what's interesting about that. So, if I do, somewhere half between, because the measurements are the same here, so I would basically draw to about out here,
Yeah, you could go to that far.
leaving that space, or do you go
I would say,
less?
I would say
You go
about
less
halfway.
Okay.
Yeah. Thing is,
About
like
there.
you're doing things that Jeremy, I would not ever think you would do, like making a margin brick. It's very
Why?
un-Jeremy. This feels like very un-Jeremy to me.
What, more technical than you expected?
Yeah. More, rigid as I expected. With something I would do. I feel like that's something I would make up.
I just want to do it right. I know there's a lot of technicalities with making comic books, and I don't want to fly into this going, I'm going to make one, and not adhere to any of the, rules at hand, the technicalities.
I had this conversation with a guy that's been making a comic for years, and he didn't know what these guides were. I'm like, dude, how do you not know what these guides are? You're making a comic for years. But whatever, it's all good. Like, so you're doing it.
I guess if you're going to be controversial, you might as well break all the rules and get everyone talking.
I guess so. I'm just saying, like, do it your way. The margin brick might be taking it too far because, well, here's the theory with the margin brick. So your margins in between panels represent time. So they should be a little bit different depending on what you're trying to do.
Ooh, so you vary the margin depending on how fast you're wanting or to symbolize how fast you're wanting the scene.
Correct. So go check out manga, and that's what they do great. They'll have, just go read like Dragon Ball Z manga, and you'll see like some panels are no margins.
It makes sense now. I didn't even think, when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, okay. Can you even group frames together?
I'm sure you can. I mean, virtually, if you have an inset panel, which is what you're doing here, where sometimes it works like this, but sometimes not. Like, let's just say you have a guy about to punch, you'll have maybe a close-up of his knuckles or something right before the punch. And since it's on top of the image, it means that it's almost nearly no time in between the two.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, all right. But since these are, obviously, there's time in between.
Right. I mean, that's just like a visualization kind of technique.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. Because I'm trying to be dramatic and theatrical with this.
Right. I think you're fine. But
right.
Technically, people are going to read that quicker than if it was separated out. The way you can also slow people down is with words. So,
yeah, that's the other thing is if I need to write the script so I can start planning out these shots with their bubbles and everything. Because what's the point of thumbnailing if I haven't got the script laid out and know how everything is going to be rolling across? So
snap. Well,
and I've got the story plot. I just don't have the script.
I don't think you need the script necessarily up front. What is more important probably is knowing, like, if you're able to thumbnail out the whole book in images, then I think you have enough. That's more than enough to know.
Now, I'm doing this on the computer. Do you think I should be doing the thumbnailing in pencils? It'd just go faster.
It would go quicker. What I did is this. This is something, because we're talking about rigidity. This is what I did. So this is my thumbnail folder for Star Circuit. I made a template and made a photocopy of it. So I gave myself, where am I at? I gave myself 3 different tries. You see?
Sorry. Trying to grab you. How do I?
You grab, yeah. Oh, I don't know if that'll work. Let's see here. Let me grab a couple. That way I don't have to hold the whole thing up. Come on now. All right. So, you see this? So I gave myself like the page, and then like some of the words, and some of the description, and then at the bottom I give myself 3 tries to get it right. I'm like, okay, first iteration, second iteration, and by the third, I have it. And each page, I do the same thing. I just photocopy it. That's what I do. So this is literally the first page, maybe, or second, fourth page. What page is? This is page 4 for Star Circuit. But yeah, you can see what it is, and then I give myself a spot for notes. It's literally the same thing as doing it digitally, but I think the only difference would be is that if you're doing it traditionally, you have to obviously do all the work of photocopying, and you have the physicals.
Yeah, if you went back into the episode of today and rewatched it, you can hear me talk. I got to start listening, asking you questions, trying to get into this because I'm trying to find which way to go. We all know I can draw my ass off. It's just, so what? Yeah, so what? If everything, curve, you got to do some more than just draw it. There's a lot of planning to it.
Yeah, that's half of what it is, really. Like if you don't do this step, and the crazy part, this is before you even do any of the tedious work. But this is the fun stuff. This is you getting to know how you want to tell a story. It's weird. I'd say stick to the rules of try not to break the rules as much as you can. Because that'll. I don't know
what the rules are entirely.
So the big ones are just the 180 rule. Try to keep to that. Okay. As much as you can, and then try to not all the other stuff that comes into play. Keep things consistent. You're already doing it where show the stairs in the first image. Whenever you're going to show something in a panel, make sure you've shown it before in a previous panel. Yeah. Otherwise, they have no reference.
Right.
So those are the hard and fast rules. Let me see here. What book is it? DC wrote a book called DC Comics Guide to Creating Comics. You might be able to find a PDF of it or something.
Okay.
But that one was really good. It's the overall just how to storytell pretty well.
Well, outside of doing this, Dwight's gonna be working some game stuff out. Some side systems that we talked about. So I've got game stuff still operating. I've got comic book operating. Here's the cool thing. The idea is that the games, from the point of Beckoned, they're going to move linearly forward in the timeline. Oh, hold on. Let me do that on screen for you. Linearly forward in the timeline. That way. The comic books will go this direction in the timeline. So we'll go back
as far as you need to.
Yeah, as far as I need to, as the game goes forward. So that way I can keep doing comics. With this. Cool. So I think
keep it in the same Devanis universe.
Yeah, and just go nuts. I think it's a neat way of broadening it, going forward one way and backwards the other.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I got to hop off. I think I have maybe got a house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll see.
See that Star Circuit money.
Bought a house.
All right.
Hopefully.
I'll talk to you later. And guys, thank you all so much. Collision Bomb, thank you for showing things up. That's awesome. Guys, thank you all. And Joe, real quick, don't jump off too quick. I got to tell you something extra we're going to be doing. Sure. Guys, it's a surprise for all of you. So make sure you get as many people as you can backing the project. It might not look good right now, but it's going to look better afterwards. But we love you. We'll catch on to you again, and I hope to have a few more thumbnails going. Love you guys very much. See you later.